welcome to the channel. I'm the Swedish Dividend Investor. So, July has wrapped up and we got some big dividend energy here. Nothing special about this month, but I do have some awesome stuff to tell you guys about. If you're new here, we talk about dividend stocks and ETFs and we do valuations, all with a sweet Swedish accent. So if that sounds like something you're into, make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any updates. With that out of the way, I just want to tell you guys I hit a pretty nice milestone this month. I've exceeded 6,000 Swedish crowns in dividends on average per month going forward. That means I've gone past 72,000 Swedish crowns per year in dividends. That's about $620 per month or 7,400 per year. Alright, let's dive into my broker account. Starting off, we can see the current value of the portfolio. We can also see my performance year to date. I didn't invest anything last month. I am preparing for some expenses. This month I can't decide what I want to invest in. The market is hitting all-time highs, but we did get a small pullback this Friday. Anyhow, I just parked my monthly savings in my savings account for the time being. Maybe I will buy some more JPMorgan Global ETF. Let's get to the dividend payments. At the time of recording, $1 is 9.65 Swedish crowns. So for the first week, I received 3 payments. First out is RS Capital. Man, that's sweet, plus 10% yield on cost is awesome. My 62 shares paid me $0.48, so $29.76. I also pay for the withholding theft of 15%, so we remove $4.46 and we land at $25.3. Right here we can see my gains or losses. A viewer asked if I could switch the language to English on my broker, but unfortunately I can't do that. The gains or losses does not include dividends. Moving on. Pennant Park floating rate, another high yielder. This one with monthly payments. My 120 shares each paid me $0.1025 and that amounts to $12.3. And like always, we remove the tax of $1.85 and we land at $10.45. And performance? Let's just say it's not a loss until you sell. Next up, HP Inc. The only tech stock in my portfolio. Bought it for their cash flow, stayed for the dividend. This is hardware tech and I think they will do fine going forward. My 150 shares each paid me $0.2894, so $43.21, and less the tax of $6.51, we land at $36.9. Alright, summing up the first week, we land at a total of $72.65. For the second week, I received 6 payments. First out is Cibus Nordic Real Estate. Ah yes, the Swedish realty income. They have been on a run as of lately, and it shadowed my plan to buy 5 to 10 shares every week to make it one of my biggest positions. But as we can see, they have started to trend down and I will continue my weekly buying if they go below 170 Swedish crowns. My 363 shares each paid me 0.887 Swedish crowns plus some decimals, so 322 Swedish crowns. I say this in every monthly dividend video, but I don't pay taxes on my Swedish dividends. So we convert it to dollars and we land at $33.37. Coming up is a bunch of covered call ETFs. First out is JEPI. With the market falling a bit this Friday, maybe, just maybe, I can start to add to this one or its brother, JEPQ. It's one of my smaller positions, but even if it is small, every dollar counts towards compounding. My 36 shares each paid me $0.2847, so we land at a total of $10.25. I also don't pay taxes on my ETFs that are registered in Ireland, since the ETFs have already paid the tax and I have them in a tax sheltered account. Alright, jumping over to its brother. JEPQ. It's the same with this one as with JEPI. Small position, and I'm waiting for a big correction before adding here, since the covered call ETFs are limited to the upside, as we can see on the chart. Buying after a big dip would lower my cost basis. We trade upside for income, and that's fine by me. My 36 shares each paid me $0.3672, so $13.22 and no taxes, just the way I like it. Time for the bigger brother and my biggest position, JEPG or JGPI. I hate the stupid European tickers. I've increased my holding here quite a bit. I've invested 113.5k Swedish crowns, so that's 11.76k US dollars. The 12-month trailing yield is 7.59%, and we don't have the usual suspects of the mega cap tech companies in this ETF, which can be pretty nice since they are stupidly overvalued. By the time I got this dividend, my shares were sitting at 390 instead of my current 420. They each paid a massive 0.3369 nice dollars in dividends. That comes out to a sweet $131.4 in income. What can I say? I'm contemplating buying even more of this ETF. But with it being over 10% of my invested capital, it's starting to get a bit bloated. And there are risks with these covered call ETF, like the limited upside after a big drop. Time will tell if I'm really stupid. Moving on with the next one. Montrose Global Monthly Dividend ETF. They did start to recover just now, with the MSCI World catching up. But, as we can see, they dropped by 2.54% this Friday. Not terrible, but the dividend with this one is based on the share price. They aim to pay 0.5% of the ETF's value each month. I wonder what they do with the difference from the call options. Maybe they pocket the money. Anyway, my 309 shares kicked out 0.4265 Swedish crowns each. So that comes out to 131.79 Swedish crowns. And in dollars, we land at 13.65. Next up is dividend from a favorite sector of mine. Altria. Yes, the sin stocks. I don't know what's going on with these stocks right now, but it's a bit ridiculous. They're going ballistic, but I'm still holding. My 82 shares each paid me $1.02, so a nice $83.64. But we also have to pay the taxman his share for doing nothing. So we remove 12.55 and we land at $71.09. Alright, that sums up the second week, and the total for the week is sitting at $272.98. Adding it up for the monthly total, we land at $345.63. For the third week, I received 4 payments. First out is Global X S&P 500 covered call ETF. I did add some more here after I sold my entire position of Philip Morris. Now, I don't like the Global X ones as much as the JPMorgan ETFs, but that yield of 8 to 10% and monthly payout is very nice. My 210 shares each paid me $0.1427. So, we end up at $29.97 and no taxes. Thank you very much. Now, let's look at its brother. Global X Nasdaq 100 covered call ETF. Same here, I added a bit in June to partake in that massive 12.36% yield. So my 196 shares each paid me $0.1566. And with some quick math, that comes out to 30.69. Nice. And yet again, no taxes for the government. Thank you. Now, for the performance, I have received just above 3,000 Swedish crowns in dividends. But that was during the time this was a smaller part of my portfolio. So right now, I'm about break even. But as that plus 12% yield keeps spitting out income, it will balance it out going forward, since I added quite a bit here. Time for some real estate paychecks. WP Carry. I bet you all have that 1 or 2 positions in your portfolio where you kind of almost forget you have them in the first place. Nothing exciting is happening, and they just keep paying those sweet dividends. This is something like that, and I love it. Wish more of my holdings were like this. My 30 shares each paid me $0.9, so $27. And let's remove the tax of 4.05, so we can get our total of $22.95. Last payment for this week. Realty income. Since the dollar is down quite a bit, I'm just about break even on the gains here. You can see here, inköpskurs, meaning cost basis per share. It is sitting at $53.16 and the price currently is 56.57. That's the risk of using other currencies, but it can also be a hedge. I just wish they could trade a bit lower at the $52 mark, so I can buy even more. My 111 shares each paid me $0.269. I'm done with the nice jokes now, I promise. We land at 29.86, and after the tax of 4.48, we arrive at $25.38. So as we do, we sum up the third week and we arrive at $108.99. And for the monthly total, it's now sitting at $454.62. It's kind of a special month here. I did not receive any payments for the fourth week, so I had to wait until the fifth week, where I received 2 payments. The first payment is the last dividend for this month. Aker BP, the Norwegian oil giant with its high yield but sadly high taxes as well. Let's cross our fingers for lower oil prices so we can get our hands on more shares. Now, the calculation here involves 3 currencies, so I will simplify it by just using Norwegian crowns and dollars. So my 103 shares each paid 6.36 Norwegian crowns, so 655.08, and the 25% tax is 163.82, landing us at 491.26 Norwegian crowns. Let's convert that to freedom units. The exchange rate is 10.24 for a dollar. We land at a total of $47.97. The last payment is from my savings account with monthly payouts. This month's interest was 99.25 Swedish crowns, and the 30% tax comes out to 29.78, landing us at 69.47 Swedish crowns, and in dollars, that's 7.2 after rounding out the 500 decimals. So, what is the total for the month? Adding everything up, we land at $509.79. Let's compare that to last year. So last year I got 3,490.3 Swedish crowns in income. That's 361.69 in today's dollar value. With the math, we can see an increase of 40.95% roughly. Next month, the number to beat is 3,878.14 Swedish crowns or $401.88. I'm feeling pretty confident we will be able to do that. But now I would like to know, what was your biggest dividend payer this month? Did you break any records in your monthly income? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of my monthly income from my broker. If you did, make sure to like, comment and share the video. If you're not subscribed, consider supporting me by subscribing. It helps my videos to reach more people. But that's it for this one. I'm the Swedish Dividend Investor, and I will see you in the next one. Stay smart, stay patient, and keep stacking those dividends. Ha det gött!